So recently I was invited to the Torg Gaming Expo in Columbus, Ohio. And I had never heard of this event before, but it was one more event to go to before the end of the year. So I said, you know what? Sure, why not? Got to the event. Man, I was blown away. It was pretty crazy. Their whole space was almost as big as Portland Retro Gaming Expo. You know, it was a lot of space in there, so I was pretty shocked. I thought it was going to be more like a swap meet type deal, but I guess this is the year that they kind of started going big. So it was very exciting going to the show. Now, I wasn't invited just solo. They invited John Hancock and Brett Weiss, so we all got to hang out together. But there was an issue with another person that was trying to get to the event that wasn't invited. They claimed that they were a big YouTuber and let them in the VIP. And they said, no, you got to wait with everybody else. And the guy tried to like talk to other people to still sneak in to get into the event, and they caught him. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, man, you got to be careful trying to use flex to get into these events, man, because if people catch you lying or they just don't like you, it's just going to be a bad look. Now, I don't know who this guy was, man, but I just noticed that the volunteers and some other people were pretty annoyed with him trying to like sneak in. But anyways, moving on from that, first they let VIP in, and it was pretty packed with VIP. But then when everybody else got in, that event was just so packed, dude. Everybody was just like hunting for games. And I had a segment that I was going to do called Change Your Mind. Excuse me, I meant Change My Mind. And I figured like in the beginning, like people weren't going to be wanting to go to that. They're going to be hunting for games. So after they got their fixing for games, I got to do a little segment like asking people questions, kind of like the Change Your Mind with Steven Crowder, but with video games. I just tried to come up with some outstanding like questions, pretty much. Like a lot of people agreed with the stuff I was saying at first. Like at first I said Resident Evil is better than Silent Hill. Changed my mind. People were agreeing with me on that, so I couldn't use that. But I that was to be expected, though. That's pretty 50-50 between those two, so I should have chose something better. But after that, I really came up with some really good discussions, and got to talk to a lot of people. A lot of people had different opinions from myself, which was really nice. My favorite part of these type of events is always meeting people, so I got to talk with a lot of people, ask questions. Hey, what'd you pick up? What are you looking for? All that stuff. And I met some really cool vendors there as well. One of the vendors I met there, really cool guy. And I gotta give him a shout out, a very polite person, Brandon Hoogland, man. Thanks for talking with me, bro. We had a good conversation, man. And I'm glad you nearly sold out, man. You were like one of the only vendors that almost sold out of everything, which was awesome, man. Don't you love coming to these events? You have a bunch of stuff and you leave with barely anything. That's the best. But going back to the event, it was really busy. A lot of vendors there. Man, it was just like, it was overwhelming. I gotta be honest, it was overwhelming for me. I just sit down a couple of times because there was so much stuff to go through. And then when you're looking for like certain games or looking through games, you gotta really kind of like concentrate and look carefully because there's something you could overlook, you know, so you have to be very careful about what you pick up because you might miss something. But the event was a lot of fun. And you know what happens when things are a lot of fun. Time goes by fast. So by the time I turned my head, it was just about over. And after that, I met up with John and Brett, and also I got to meet Jay from Square Peg. So he has a YouTube channel, and got to meet up with him. So we all left, and we went to go get something to eat. And then I wanted these guys to go to the Warp Zone so we could meet Darren. So we were trying to get there before they closed, and luckily we did. And Darren even cut on the light on for us. Like he doesn't usually have the light on outside, but he cut it on for us, which was pretty awesome. So we got to check out his store for the first time, and this is what I'm talking about. Like when you feel like you're in a rush, it's hard to concentrate. Like Darren was like, yeah, Reggie, I know you like these imports and all this stuff. So I was going through the imports, but I was feeling rushed, even though we weren't rushed, but I just feel that way. And I was like, man, I brought the stuff I wanted. Like Darren was like, dude, what the heck is that, man? Just take that. I was like, oh man, let me go look again. So I did find something cool. Another Alice, American McGee's Alice for PC. I think this is a variant I don't have, but I might be wrong. But either way, I still wanted it, and I'll show it later, more so later on in the video. But John found a Neo Geo Pocket. I think it was a sealed or just a brand new one, which he didn't own, so he was really ecstatic about that. I don't remember what Jay and Brett bought. I'm pretty sure Brett bought something Atari related. But we got to hang out there, and it was really nice. And then we went back to the hotel, and we were going to shoot a live stream. But unfortunately, when I got back to my room to drop my stuff off, my key wasn't working. So I had to like go back to the reception desk. And like walking back and forth between those places is pretty long. You have to walk these long hallways before you get to the elevator. I was like, damn, dude. So I would say I damn near lost 20 minutes trying to get that settled. But once I got everything settled, I went to John's room. They were already doing the live stream. I joined them for that, and we just did a little hangout for our last day before we were leaving, and that was pretty much it. So overall, I had a great time in Columbus, Ohio. The Torg event was really big. I was very shocked at how big it was, man. They are going places. But had a lot of fun. So I just want to give a thanks to Mike Coletti for, hopefully I said your name right, brother, for inviting me to the show. Had a blast. And Brandon, I didn't forget you too, man. Appreciate you, man. You were awesome at the show. I know you were busy. But man, thanks for helping us out, man. We really appreciate you. Also, folks, for people watching this video, if you're ever in Columbus, Ohio, make sure you stop by the Warp Zone video game store. It's a great store where you'll find a lot of cool stuff at, and I give it the Reggie seal of approval. Definitely check them out, guys. Now, it is time for everybody's favorite part of these type of videos, the pickups. Yes, I picked up quite a few things. I didn't think I was going to pick up much stuff, but I always say that at these events, and I always find something. You know, it's pretty crazy, but I found some cool stuff that I think definitely a lot of you guys will like. So let's take a look. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is like the accessories I got while I was at the show. So I was in need of a multi-tap. At least I think I was, because I can't find my original one. So I got that. I also got a free Move controller, which I'm very happy about. So now I have two of them. You know, the Move controller is very sought after now. Game Shark Lite complete, which I've been looking for this for a while at a show. So happy to finally get this in the collection. It'll be very helpful for my PS1 collection. And here's a soundtrack I got from my buddy Darren's shop, Arcana Heart 3 Love Max. That is the soundtrack, and I guess this might be like a smaller soundtrack CD or maybe some kind of drama CD. I'm not really sure. But these are the accessories I got at the show. I saw the game watches there in box, so I said, you know what, let me go ahead and grab these. These are very nostalgic to me. I remember I used to love these when I was a kid. These are going to stay in the case, though. I'm not going to take them out. You know, if I ever find a loose one, I may add it to my keychain again, but then your keys become pretty bulky and the screen gets scratched up if you put your keys in your pocket. But anyways, happy to have these back in the collection. American McGee's Alice for PC. So I picked up a variant copy of this at my buddy Darren's store. You guys may know it, the Warp Zone, pretty much. I just talked about it earlier. And, you know, I was looking for some imports, actually, but when you're looking for imports, you got to, like, be relaxed and, you know, in a right state of mind. I was kind of, like, rushing because we had limited time, so I just picked this one up. But definitely cool to have this game in the collection, at least the variant copy, I would say. And if you haven't played American McGee's Alice, I would definitely say try it out. It's on well, I don't know if I can say modern console, but it's on the PS3 Live, and it's also on the 360 Live. But they may have updated it. It's probably on Steam as well, so if you haven't played it, those are easy ways to kind of access the game. The game has a sequel, Alice Madness Returns, and I don't know if a lot of people have played that one. That's a really cool game, even though it felt a little bit unfinished, like they had to rush through development for it. But they were trying to get a third and final game released. I think they kickstarted it, and I'm not sure what the status is on it because I haven't kept up with it in a while. But hopefully that's going to happen soon. I think it's called Alice Outlands or Alice Knows. It's called something else. I can't remember. But anyways, I'll be showing you guys footage here of kind of like the promotion for it. But anyways, I talked too much about Alice. I did a collection video for my Alice stuff, so if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description or some kind of pop-up here right now. Oh, I just remembered, it's called Alice Asylum, so definitely give American McGee a follow on his YouTube channel. Show some support if you want to see this game come out. And yeah, hopefully it comes out, man, because the art that I've seen for this game looks freaking crazy. This third game has to be made.
Once upon a time, we met American McGee's Alice. The rabbit hole deepened, and Alice Madness returns. But her story isn't over. Return with us to where it all began. Alice Asylum. Become a patron now at patreon.com/American McGee.
I picked up Max Payne while I was at the show. I talked about this in the Hidden Gems video before, and Max Payne for the Game Boy Advance is really impressive. The game has voice acting in it, and the gameplay is actually well done. The game is played from an isometric view, which doesn't hurt it at all, but what really makes this game shine is that the whole bullet time thing is very well put together. That gimmick never gets old, to be honest with you, and for them to actually put it in the Game Boy Advance version, really shows they were really trying to make something special here. If another company besides Remedy had put this together, the bullet time wouldn't be in there. It'd just be some kind of run and gun isometric game, but they actually put effort into this game to make it something special, and a lot of people probably overlooked this game, unfortunately. But if you see Max Payne for the Game Boy Advance out there, it is impressive. Voice acting, story cutscenes, it's just very well done, and if you're a Max Payne fanatic, it's something you definitely want to have in your collection.
To make any kind of sense of it, I need to go back 3 years. Back to the night the pain started. I was still on the force back then. NYPD, Manhattan, Midtown North Precinct, Hell's Kitchen.
So when are you coming to work for me, Detective Payne?
You'd make me work undercover in some hellhole. Sorry, Alex. Michelle and the baby come first. See? My last smoke. It's bad for the baby.
That's you, Max. A regular Boy Scout.
See, Alex?
Still on for poker Thursday night, right?
Like taking candy from a baby.
I never played The Little Mermaid for the NES, but I hear it's a part of Capcom's lineup of good games for the NES back in the day. So kind of like Chip and Dale, DuckTales, things like that. And another reason I picked it up because all the controversy going around the new Mermaid movie coming out. I guess they color swapped it and it looks hella weird. But anyways, I'm looking forward to playing this game because it's one of those games I hear is just short and sweet. So I definitely want to see how that is. But anyways, if you play this game, you guys let me know what you think about it. I picked up a sealed copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now, usually I wouldn't even give this game a second glance, but I think I found out from X and his wife that this was a turn-based RPG, and it's kind of like the old school turn-based RPGs, like from the golden years. So I was shocked, and as soon as I saw it, I said, "Yep, let me go ahead and grab that." So if you guys see this game out there, you might want to give it a try. I don't think it goes for too much, especially just for the cart. But I got lucky and got this sealed copy, I think, for like $10. So here's a bundle of games I got for $25. Now, a couple of them were missing the carts, but that was easy to replace. So Drone Racers was missing the cart, and Ice Age 2. I ended up getting the cart for Drone Racers, but Ice Age 2, that game is not too great, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I honestly don't recommend that game, so I won't be including it with footage. When I picked up Drone Racers, I had no idea it was the same game that Jason had talked about in one of his videos. So as you can see, this is a racing game, and the graphic style reminds me of the old school Star Fox games, Star Fox 1 and Star Fox 2. And also another game on the Game Boy Advance called Star X. So yeah, if you're familiar with those games, the graphic style here, you'll feel like this game is using the FX chip, even though I think it's not at all. But anyways, very cool racing game, and I'm happy that I found it on the cheap on both ends, finding the box and manual separately, and then finding the game itself to complete it. So I would say this is definitely something people would want to pick up, especially if you're a Game Boy Advance enthusiast. Quad Desert Fury. I wish I could tell you the developers put a lot of time into this game and everybody would love it. I wish I could tell you that, but unfortunately, the gaming world is not a fairy tale place, and you'll get games that are pretty crappy. It's unfortunate that this is one of them. Thankfully, that's not the case with The Legend of Spyro Eternal Night. Now, the Spyro games, after they left the PlayStation, they pretty much went all over the place. But I can say the portable games are actually pretty good. And Eternal Night is one of those games. I love the sprite work, even though it's a little bit bigger than I want it to be. But the game is actually really well done. It's a cool adventure game. It has a lot of text in the beginning, but once you get past it, the game really flows well. I'm surprised I don't really hear a lot of people talking about this game. This version of the game was also ported to the DS system, but I feel like this is the better version to have since you could play it on the Game Boy player and, of course, the Analog Pocket. Robotech, the Mad Cross Saga. So, I've heard a lot of cool things about the Game Boy Advance version over the years, and I finally got my hands on it. And when I played this game, it's kind of like a hybrid game. It's a shoot 'em up, and it's like an isometric beat 'em up type game. You know, kind of similar to that game called Sigma Star Sign, if anybody remembers that game back in 2005. But anyways, the problem with this game though is that the levels actually outstay their welcome. The shoot 'em up, look, the first level is long. You know, like when it comes to action shoot 'em ups, I don't necessarily like longer levels. I like levels that are kind of like short and sweet, you know, like action packed, and you know, then you move on. But they overstay their welcome too long, so a lot of people may kind of fall off from this game. But aside from that, the game is actually pretty decent. But what kills it is that they try to stretch it out too long, and it just doesn't work. But still, I'm happy to have this in the collection. Yeah, let me know if you guys have played this one. I got Fallout 3 for $1 at the show, and I also got BioShock Infinite at the show for $1. I feel like everybody knows these games, so I don't really have to show footage of them. But I will show a little footage of BioShock, because I feel like this is one of the greatest games of all time. If you have not played BioShock Infinite, oh man, it is a breathtaking experience. I had a great time playing this game, and I didn't even really like the other two games. But this one, I don't know, man. It was just awesome to me. So if you have not played this game, you know, you can get it on more modern consoles now. Well, actually, I don't know if they ported it to the PS5, but I know it's on the PS4 and the Xbox Series X, or maybe the Xbox One, something like that. It's all over the place, Steam, whatever. So if you see it out there, you should definitely pick this game up. It is freaking fantastic. I picked up a sealed copy of Bust a Move Millennium. I thought I already owned this game, but who knows? I think I might have traded it in. Who knows? But I decided to pick it up because it was going for cheap. I think I paid, around $15 or $20 for this sealed copy. So if you haven't played a Bust a Move game, I mean, you can play any of them. They're pretty mostly all the same, but they're actually a lot of fun. But just so you guys know, and a lot of people don't even know this, it was just kind of funny. Bust a Move and a Puzzle Bobble are the same series. They just changed the name in America. Just, I guess they thought it would be like catchier or whatever like that. But yeah, same games. Now here's Super Bust a Move. So you'll see a little pattern here. We just talked about Bust a Move Millennium. Now here's Super Bust a Move for the Game Boy Advance. As you can see, it's more the same with better graphics, but still gameplay fundamentally the same. And the last item I'm going to show for this video, you guys probably already saw it in my last video that I did with Fat Samurai Guy, but I had to show it again just in case you missed that video. I got the Splatterhouse pre-order mask. This came with Splatterhouse for the PS3 and the Xbox 360 as a pre-order bonus, I believe, or maybe it was an extra. I can't remember. Somebody in the comments let me know how this was released with the game. I'm not really even sure, but I remember seeing it around the time. And this mask is pretty authentic. You can't put it on, which would have been awesome if you could put this thing on. Well, you know what? Let me try anyways. Let's see if we get this on. Nope, it didn't work. But anyways, still an awesome thing to have if you're a Splatterhouse fan. And just to let you guys know, the Splatterhouse for the PS3 and 360 comes with the original 3 games on there. You have the arcade version, and you have the 2 Genesis games. So definitely, a lot of people still don't know that to this day. So you're essentially getting 4 games in one. But one thing they need to do is they need to make this game backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X. You know, it's a shame that the 360 version is not backwards compatible. Maybe someday it'll happen, but who knows. But anyways, guys, I would say definitely seek this game out if you haven't yet. Alright guys, so that's all I got for you in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Radical Reggie, and I will see you all later.